Welcome back to another episode of the Spotlight with Nine, your go-to destination where we shine the light on the people shaping the future for our MOBA in a way you never expected. I'm your host Nine, and tonight we are talking about something bold, regional, and maybe something even to talk more on controversy. That's what you guys like, don't you? And tonight we have a guest that will be driving a force behind the name that have already making a wave in the Northeast, WARDRUM. With just one tournament in book, they've already announced a second, and they are doing it all exclusively for Northeast region. What's the story behind this movement? What's the mission? And what does the future look like? Let's dive in and meet the person behind it. Please welcome the CEO of WARDRUM, Fredo. Hello, Fredo. Welcome. It's so good to have you back.
Thank you so much, Nayan. Thank you for welcoming me to your podcast once again.
Yeah, I it's so quick, right? Time. When did we had our last podcast? I think that was like
A few months ago.
Yeah, I think that was the second episode, if I'm not wrong. And look at, we're already like having you back for another episode is such a pleasure. And that also for a good reason. Remember? I'm not sure if you remember when we said that we will see each other again after when you said there is a tournament that you guys will be holding, and you did it. You proved yourself right in there. So first off, I gotta say you got a community talking, but let's rewind a little bit. What inspired you to start WARDRUM? Was there a gap you noticed, or maybe a moment you thought we need something just for us?
Well, I believe it all started due to the major incident which took place in December. I think a lot of people were disappointed, and I was also one of those people who was very disappointed with the way the tournament went. And the fact that it had the name Northeast on top of it as well. So representing at least our region, I felt like the tournament was a disappointment for everyone who belonged to this region. And that was actually one of the driving forces because of which I wanted to do something. And this is how it turned out to be actually.
Yes, that's really true. It had impacted a lot, and we have been talking a lot. And I thought that it will end by the end of last year, but actually it's still continuing. The stories are still in the heart of many. So was it always, I mean, what you have brought up in here, was this always meant to be a Northeast only, or an idea that will evolve over time?
Well, of course, we do want to include the entire Indian subcontinent, not just India, right? Because I believe that the potential that this organization has, it has the potential to reach beyond boundaries. But of course, that is something that we aim to achieve someday, and that is what we started our vision with. But the moment we thought of that, we also, realized that I feel like our region as a whole has been neglected a lot, actually. So because of that reason, we believe that giving more attention, giving more focus to our Northeast region first should be our main priority, because I believe there is a lack of resources and a lack of proper organizations in our region. So if there is an organization that can, at least try to achieve the level of professionalism, the level of organization, that comes into esports as a whole, I believe WARDRUM can actually make that happen because of the members that I have in my team, and not just the members who are working with us, but also the people in the board of directors who also guide us, because they are people who know business and who have been doing business from a very long time, and it's over a decade actually. So because of their experience also helps us a lot. So it's not like I have been doing this for a long time or something, but the passion that I bring to the table and the knowledge of the community and the game and the people revolving around it in terms of esports, along with the experience which the board of directors provide me with and their knowledge, it's just a chemical reaction, which I never thought would happen, but it's you can say it's fate somehow that all this has happened and all this has come into a single place, and things have been so good after that.
Many people were even saying, because like last time when you came to the podcast, you mentioned, like, we will try to do something like the MPL. We will try to bring in, all those big bold statements that you made. And many people, like, they were doing follow up with you and asking you where is the tournament, because you were quite quiet for a moment as well, because you were focused in some other thing. And I'm sure that you were brewing this behind the back while people were talking, right? And what I've noticed is you said the what do you call it, there are no organizer that are doing as they're not performing well, so you became the organizer itself. So, and you even mentioned that many organizers won't even like what I posted, like, the video that went viral for your and many organizer, you said many organizer also don't want to talk to me because of what went viral. And you became, now, since nobody, it's like everybody turned your back, and now, okay, let me do it. So was there a time where you were like, they don't even believe, they don't believe in what I can bring? Like, do you have, like, do you go through those kind of emotion? I hope you understand what I'm trying to say in here.
I understand, because of course when you're starting out new, there are people who know you from a long time, so they believe in you. But there are also people who don't know you quite well. So it's like there is a quote that Peter Parker says to Miles Morales in that movie, where he says it's a leap of faith. So basically, what I took was, of course, a decision that I made by myself, and alongside me was Nihal, of course, and but for the people who believed in me, it was a leap of faith. The people who are working with me right now, they actually took a leap of faith. They believed in me that Fredo and Nihal, and along with WARDRUM, can do something, can change, and bring about a new revolution in the entire region as a whole. Because I believe esports, it should be a much more organized industry. And, to bring the organization that we need, we actually need to become more professional, and we need to take it in a way that makes people believe that, okay, this thing has some potential. If we try to build a career out of it, it's possible. So to do that, we need to bring the sense of professionalism and organization in people, that this thing is not a disorganized industry, it's actually an organized one. And if you want to climb to the top, there are actually steps through which you can go and achieve whatever you want to achieve. That's the reason how we started out.
Okay. Anyway, before I get deeper into getting to WARDRUM, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and yes, we want to know more about you before we get into what org you are really currently involved in.
About me, well, I have always played this game since 2019. And ever since then, I've always been a big fan of this game, because I always watch this. I did not really follow the MPLs too much, but I always watch this game whenever the MCTs came around. And of course, as an Indian, you always, even if we keep calling Hoon Kumar, Kairi Kumar, there is always the one to the, what do you call it? You always expect someone from India to represent as well. And the fact is, Northeast is one of the budding regions, at least in terms of this game. And that's the reason why we always expect someone to represent us. Of course, Evil was there on the global leaderboards, and everyone were looking up to them, and they actually, put India on the map basically. Because before that, nobody really knew too much about India, like that we played the game. So after that, I wanted to be a part of this, be a part of esports. So I started participating in tournaments. There was one tournament held by SN Gamer where I participated.
Oh, okay.
And back then, the people that I played with, they were all from Mumbai. And that squad was called code name. So
Okay.
it was a very nice one, and that was my first, you can say, a touch of esports in the beginning.
Mm-mm.
And
And which year was
after
that?
that, huh?
Which year
was
was?
that? I think that was 2019,
Oh, okay, okay,
19 or 20, 19 or 20. I can't exactly remember,
okay, okay,
but around that time.
okay.
And after that, of course, the ban came and everything.
Mhm.
So no touch for a long time. But after that, recently last year, when I saw these events and tournaments happening everywhere, I did not really have a team because I lost touch. But after that, of course, there were tournaments coming around, and fortunately, I was hired by Mr. Zita,
Mhm.
who took me for casting, and that's how I got introduced to this.
Mhm.
And of course, I mean, I have some public speaking skills, due to which I really wanted to be a part of this casting thing as well, because of course it's a public speaking skill as well.
Mhm.
But I realized that the most difficult public speaking skill out of everything, giving giving a speak is much more easy than actually trying to cast a game.
Yeah.
And that's what I found it so challenging. And that's the reason why I, kept pursuing casting. And after that, of course, the Notice Cup happened, and it was a disappointment for a lot of people out there. Still, it still lingers in the back of a lot of people who were really expecting a lot out of it, and I think I was one of them as well. So after that thing happened, of course, me and Nihal at the time, we were having another organization. The name was Rise as One, and we were doing a tournament by ourselves as well at the same time while the Notice Cup was going on. And of course, after that event, which happened in December, we were really disappointed with how the Notice Cup went.
Yeah.
And that's why after our tournament was over, me and Nihal decided that we want to do something. And eventually, of course, we were already having plans in September. Of course, in December, our tournament, through the community tournament, which was approved. That's how things happened actually.
So a lot of up and down, even through your ever since you entered the community, right? Just bringing back to the casting, you said casting has been really difficult for me, but I think you're excelling in it right now under the supervision of many other. I think you're doing great. And when I remember when the time when you said, hey, come over and do casting with us, I was like, no, that's not happening, because knowing that your level, and we do casting in a sense just for, what do you call it, just to fill in, fun and fill in, right? And then you guys come, and I didn't even meet the bunch of casters that we have right now. I was not even introduced to them, right? I didn't even know up until the beginning of, the end of last year. So I didn't know anybody, and then I was introduced to this again by Zeta. He was the one who reached out to me. He's so very funny thing happened was Zeta. I thought he was people used to do that because I didn't know that there was another Zeta. So I thought somebody just playing around with me and put their IG in a Zeta and trying to prank me. And then I got a DM. That it's Zeta, and then actually he was a legit Zeta even before me. That's why I want people to know me as Nai, not as Zeta, because I don't want to take over his name. And then Kronos approached, and then I was introduced to the whole bunch of talented casters. So, in which I stumbled upon you as well, and I was like, this guy can really talk. I was like, he's really, he has a very eloquent speech. I think he has a lot to say. And then you came, and I think knowing you even as a person, I've realized you really are a man of his word. You do what you say. Yeah, you're blushing right now, but really, you are a man of your word. Because whatever you have said, you did it right. So really applaud to you that. And coming back to the WARDRUM, why WARDRUM? Why you said from Rise as One? Why did you not continue as Rise as One, but came up with a new name as WARDRUM? And how is it the origin? Could it take us on a journey there?
I believe, the thing that the name called WARDRUM it actually has a deep meaning behind it, but I think I would like to keep it a secret for now, because if I reveal the origin, then it will ruin the surprise which is coming for everyone. Because there's a huge surprise waiting.
And at least give us a
Of course,
hint.
the name is WARDRUM. The name itself is a hint that when a big event happens, there are going to be drums for sure, and that's all I can say for now.
Okay.
But of course, the name WARDRUM, it was not actually my or Nihal's idea. It was actually coined by one of our founding members, and of course, he's also a part of the board of directors. But the idea behind it, the reason how we explained the meaning of WARDRUM is the reason why we all decided to accept it. Because, I mean, of course, Nihal and I were a part of Rise as One before, but Rise as One, it was coined by someone else, and the person was not really involved a lot in the decision-making process, or he was actually a squad leader. Of course, we use our squad name as the name of the organization. Later on, what happened is the squad leader was not really involved in much of the activities, and the members were in the group as well. They were not really helping us out quite a lot. So me and Nihal, we felt kind of a little bit alienated, even though we are trying to use the name and try to make this make this organization big, but the members were not really supporting us in the best way, you can say, because of course they did try their best to help us out, but of course there are also people who have their own lives going on, not really judging them here. So we understood, and we decided to move forward ahead of WARDRUM, ahead of Rise as One, and that's when we, of course, stumbled across WARDRUM, and then we decided to stick to it now. Of course, the meaning, it comes from war and drum, so that should give you a good idea of why the name is WARDRUM. And of course, like I said, drum.
It's like because even in Asian days, right, we come from a tribal area, all of us, the Northeast. So yeah, the war. So I don't know, whatever it's coming, I hope it's big. And I'm so excited to get deeper into the question of what we will go through tonight, because I was very surprised with the amount of engagement that WARDRUM got. I think it was like I just had a session with an episode with Tartarus as well, and they said, WARDRUM, I don't know if you heard that or not, but they said, thank you, WARDRUM. I think they were one of the best tournament ever we played. It came like a flash. It came in fast and then went back fast, and then now they're already starting the second one. So I think the player are also very happy with what you're doing. So that is like a win. That's a big W for you. But knowing that, because I have been a part of an organizing team as well, launching a tournament isn't easy, especially when you're trying to do something different, right? So what were some of the biggest challenges you faced or your team faced while organizing your first tournament, and how did the community respond?
Well, of course, if you want a tournament to be successful, the first and foremost thing is the people need to be aware that a tournament is actually happening. And we decided to approach, of course, Nura and Jenny to help us out with the promotion. And of course, they have a good following, and they helped us out with the influence that they have. But that was not good, because organically, when people actually came to know that a tournament which has the name Northeast in it came, a lot of people actually, shifted their attention towards us as well, because the name Northeast was involved. And of course, when we decided to take the name Northeast into the tournament's name, we also were very sure that we take the responsibility of representing it in a good way, so that the people of Northeast are also satisfied. And that's why we, of course, did the promotion. We made people aware. They came to the tournament, they watched it. And of course, it was really difficult for us to maintain the level of production that we were trying to go forward with, because our editor, they were on a very tight schedule, because of course they have their own lives as well. But coming up with new overlays every day, some new information that we provide them, and they have to make an overlay outfit and stuff like that. It was really difficult for the editors to keep up with. But kudos to them. They made, they gave them time, they dedicated their hard work, and they were able to, come up with the stuff before a deadline. And not just that, we streamed for 6 hours straight.
Mm.
And of course, another big kudos to this guy. His name is Twilight. He's our streamer.
Mhm.
He sits on a plastic chair for 6 hours straight
Wow.
and streams for us. And of course, we gave him everything we could, because we all know it takes a lot of hard work for someone who's streaming, but at the same time, you're handling the overlays and you're handling the camera as well.
Mm.
And when things go wrong, you know how the chat reacts.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a lot of pressure on him, but he was able to take that pressure and able to deliver actually on the standard that we expected from him. And that's the reason why we considered him in the first place. And my goodness, he delivered beyond our expectations.
Mm.
And of course, those two were the hardest parts. Basically, the editors and the streamers, it was the hardest for them. Because, of course, we were demanding a lot out of them. And kudos to them, they made it work, they made it happen. And I mean, 80% of the credit goes to them, everything that happened.
That's great. So big W to Twilight as well. And also, was he the cameraman?
Yes, of course, he was the cameraman. He was the sole guy who was responsible for everything that happened on the stream.
Oh,
Everything.
wow. That, because we like when we organize, right? We always have so much. Yes, the streamer is so important too, because they are the one who brings the production, is what brings them to to the audience. And what I've not heard even one single complaint about the stream crashing, the stream that nothing. It was so smoothly done. So a big W to Twilight on his side as well for delivering that on the screen, for letting us enjoy the raw view right from his plastic chair. So I hope that he will eventually get the fruit for whatever he's doing, and I think the community also deserves to know him of what he has done. And coming back to which, so I think I was one of those people who said about the registration fee, right? I was like, do you think how will they respond to the registration? Because it was like 1K, right? If I'm not wrong. Yeah, it was 1K. Yeah, because like, I don't know about you, but when I used to, be a part of an organizer, or I mean, I still am. When we talk about fees, they, why 50, why 50 क्यों ले रहे हो? There's like always a complaint of, even if it's 10 rupees or what, and having like 1K as a entry fee was something I was very skeptical myself. I was like, how will they deliver it? And then I saw the response. I was like, wow, these people, I don't know how you guys did it, but could you tell us, like, did you face any struggle, or was like, no, everything went fine?
Well, of course, the reason why we went with that 1,000 rupees registration fee was to eliminate the teams that were, just rookies coming forward. Because I believe there are already a lot of free tournaments going around. And if they want to play for the fun of it, then they can definitely reach out to those tournaments. They can register and they can play there. But of course, we wanted WARDRUM to be taken seriously, and we wanted our entire image to represent that we're here for esports, we're here for professional esports. That's the reason why we put that 1,000 rupees registration fee, because in the beginning we did think about it, and we wanted to make it a little bit lower. But the thing is, when you make it lower, you make it more open and more accessible to a lot of people, and it includes people who are not serious as well, because if you think about the price tag that we put, 1,000 is actually an amount that you think twice before paying, right? So that eliminates the fact that we're going to deal with people who are not really serious, who will come into tournaments just for the fun of it, instead of thinking that they're here to win. Because when you pay 1K rupees on the line, come and join a tournament, you know that these people have thought twice or thrice, and they're sure that they have the potential. That's why they have come here. And that is the reason why we put this registration fee. And of course, the response was not the best, because of course we got just 5 or 6 teams, and we still did get the best though, because these 5-6 teams, the way they played, if you watch the finals of the underdogs, you will definitely be on
the DXZ, right?
because it was Yeah, the death is detergent. Oh my God, these
Oh,
people.
that's
One HP base.
that was
That was so
insane.
close. And yeah, I mean, you don't expect this kind of thrilling and close matches
Mm-hmm.
in these pre-tournaments at all, because you know that these people, they just registered because, of course, it's free. You can come and you can play. But in tournaments like ours, where you are paying and coming, they are serious about that. They have potential. I mean, they have confidence in their own skills that they can make it. That's the
Mm-hmm.
reason why they've paid this amount and come here. And that's the reason why in the finals, we got everything that we wanted. I mean, even though there were not the most number of teams that registered, our
Mm-hmm.
tournament, in my opinion, was a huge success
Mm-hmm.
because we got the outcome that we achieved to.
Yeah, when I saw the DXD, I was a fan of them, and then I went back and then I watched the whole thing. That team, like, where were they this whole time? So I think there's also a very good way of hunting the underdogs, where you segregate the good teams, because usually, like, when they play against good team right from the round one, they don't get to perform as much as they can with their full potential. So I think you guys really delivered in the right way of how you guys did it with the good team against, I don't know, whose ever idea that was. I think you guys did great, and I hope this won't be the end, but more. I know that you guys have so much creativity in that head of yours, so I'm hoping for the best that would come. And from a viewer's point of view, it was, like I said, it was raw, and it was a very, like, a homecoming, homecoming vibe that you guys, the energy that you were giving in this first event. What do you think made the tournament stand out from the unusual tournaments that's going on? Why do you think it is so different, apart from that it is just for Northeast?
Well, apart from the fact that it's just for Northeast, I believe the tournament format, like you mentioned, of course, it took a lot of time for us to think about a good format where we will be able to bring the best, right? I mean, the best experience for the crowd, for the audience, not just the audience, the players as well. The players should feel like they have actually played a tournament and had the best experience ever. And honestly, I believe Tartarus, they came to you and you just mentioned their reaction was great about our tournament. The feedback was really great. And I believe it was the same for every other every other team as well, even though they lost. I believe they also gained a lot of experience out of this, because it's very rare in a tournament where you actually meet against the best. And in the last tournament that we did, we segregated the top dogs and the underdogs into separate rounds. I mean, they don't meet each other before the end. So basically, you're giving them a good platform to start, because the thing is, in the other tournaments, you actually meet them, the top dogs, at the beginning. So it's like unfair matchup, basically.
Yeah, that's yes, kind of.
As well, because you are facing against an opponent who is not at your level. So that does not make you. I mean, that does not actually give you the the training that you need to get better, basically. So that's the reason, because of this unfair matchup, a lot of teams which are just starting out, they lose confidence, basically. They lose confidence, and because of that, sometimes they want to quit. But we don't want that to happen. You're just starting out, and of course, you paid this amount and came here. You're definitely confident that you can take it somewhere. So why not face against other teams who believe in the same thing, that they have the potential, but they're not ready to face the top teams yet, and they're scared about it. So of course, you pay the money, you come here, you face against teams who are at the same level, and you think in the same way that they have potential, but of course they don't have enough potential to face the top dogs.
Yeah.
Now they are not scared of anything, because of course, like I said, they're facing teams which are just like them. And on the other side, top dogs which already established themselves as great teams, great players, right? Those are facing against each other. So it's more challenging for them to climb up, and that's why they have to push themselves. Otherwise, you will not be getting this. You'll not be getting a share of the prize pool. Neither will you be climbing up on top, or you will be able to get more game time with the top teams to be able to improve yourself. So if you cannot do that, then basically you are depriving yourself of the game time that you get with other top teams, and as well as you're depriving yourself of the experience that you get out of those matches, intense high level matches. So because of this, the tournament format was, I think one of the best formats that I have ever seen, I have ever witnessed in any Indian tournament so far. And of course, it was made by all of us together. And after that, the main thing which I would like to say is the production team also did a good job because we introduced for the first time, I believe, talent prediction. And that is something that was we just thought, I mean, is it possible for us to do this? We just asked, is it possible for us to do this? And we asked sweepers as well, can you do this? And they were like, yeah, of course, it's so easy. And we're like, then why is it not free? Let's do it.
Yeah.
And people, of course, Debbie stood out a lot because every time she predicted for a team, they lost.
I mean, sometimes, yeah. It's I don't want to use the curse word because that's sometimes it actually embeds in you, so I don't want it to bring that way, in that way. But anyway, so we know that, I mean, we have addressed about the format. Let's address the heartbeat of this project. Like, you've made WARDRUM exclusively for Northeast, and that's bold. Why do you feel it's important to keep this regional? Because sometimes we have so many players even outside Northeast. Since it's exclusive, they don't feel inclusive in that tournament. So if at all this tournament is going to go, if it's going to continue, and let's just say even go like a global representation or as such, do you think it kind of like exclude out the others from the other regions?
Well, I believe that in our region, like, the way we decided to go forward with it, of course, we pushed for going pan-India first. But the thing is, there are two major things. The first thing is, of course, the server issues. The server issues, they are a very big issue for everyone who plays tournaments, especially the top teams, because you never have a fair matchup. So basically, if you are a player from Delhi or Mumbai, of course, the Delhi, of course, they have a better time, but the Mumbai players, those who play at Mumbai, when they come to Bengal server, their ping is around 80, 90, sometimes 70, sometimes it's just yellow overall. And when the Bengal players go to the Mumbai server, of course, it's the same for them. So when you think about it, doesn't matter how you try to make it happen, it's always an unfair match. Doesn't matter. Because if you're leaving it to the toss, then of course you're depending it on luck. And I mean, luck should not be a factor at all, because in this kind of situations, it should depend on your skill, it should depend on your talent, not on luck. So I believe that was one of the reasons why we thought, I think it's better if we do it only for the Northeast region for now, so that it maintains the exclusivity and it brings a fair matchup for the teams, at least in this region. Because of course, most of the players are from this region. And of course, like you mentioned, there are players on the other side of the, other side of the chicken snake as well. But I believe for them, we're coming, but we have them in our plans. It's not like we've excluded them at all, but not yet. Because for now, we just want to concentrate on the Northeast region, because I believe this region has a lot more potential than anything else in India for now. At least it has been untapped. It has not been nurtured properly. It has not been given the attention and care like it is supposed to be. And that's the reason why, of course, as the people, we belong here, and we want to just, let's do it. Let's just do it for our region first. That's what that's what crossed our mind, and we went ahead with it. And second thing is, we actually lack resources. We actually lack a lot of. It might not feel like we're lacking anything, but as myself on the in the middle of everything, which goes in WARDRUM, I understand that our finances are really limited. And if nobody knows about it, the last tournament of WARDRUM was completely sponsored by us. We brought out all the money by ourselves. We did it all by ourselves, from the prize pool to paying the team that was working, and everyone else was involved. They all were paid entirely through WARDRUM itself. There was no money coming from anywhere else. And because of that, if you try to bring in, if you try to go pan-India, of course, it won't cost too much to bring in the players. But if you're going to go pan-India, if you're going to recruit people from the mainland as well, for the management, from everything else, right? Everything is editors, streamers, everything, whatever is involved. So if you involve everything here, then it's going to cost a lot. I mean, if you don't want to be selective, right? You don't want to include some people, leave out some. if you want to do it for the community, you have to do it for everyone. You have to involve everyone as well. But to do that, I think WARDRUM is not ready yet, because we do not have enough to go all out at
I
once.
see.
It's just us starting out. So we want to keep it slow and steady. Of course, the first tournament was a success. Honestly speaking, me and Nihal, we expected 1K views. The max was 1K views on every live stream, and our target was 5K for the finals. But oh my god, the way it grew up,
Yeah.
it was way beyond our expectations.
Yeah.
And I believe everyone else as well.
Yes, that's true. That's true. And you remind me of quotation where charity begins at home, right? And I think the statement for WARDRUM is very clear right now. It's not that they are doing only particularly for the Northeast. Of course, right now that's where it all began, but they are yet to come to other region as well, but not yet, but once they are ready. So don't feel that you are being left out or as such, but it all began here in the Northeast, the home of MLB. That's what they say here in India. So I think it is very important what you have mentioned about nurturing our player. In the previous episode, even the production team, Prasant, he said that the face of the esport should be the players, and which is true. And I think our players should be our first priority than anything else. It's not organizer, it's not anybody but the player. How we portray the player, how can we lift them up to the full potential should be our first should be our first priority. And bringing these underdogs are so it's my favorite. Okay, I really like it, and thank you so much for doing it. It was one of my C3, that was also one of the heart that we really wanted to see, underdog teams. That was always it was at the core of our heart, and WARDRUM did it. And yeah, it's such a privilege to see watching our people grow to the level that we didn't imagine that they would. And on the flip side, we know, like I've said, it created barriers for others, but especially for players who we know that good teams are also from outside. So how do you think that, in one statement, I know we just discussed it, in one statement, how would you respond to them about it's exclusive but also it's inclusive?
I think we have a rule where we say that the origin of the team should be from Northeast origin. So basically, who is it to decide? Of course, we are. Of course, there's no clear distinction about a team being completely from Northeast or something, but I believe teams like, let's say, a team called Daku Sena, right? We know that they have originated from the mainland, but on the other side, if you think of a team like Eliminators, even though they have people like Art, who is from West Bengal, they have people like Fate as well, but the team's origination is from Manipur, which is in Northeast. That is the reason why Eliminators have not been excluded out of this tournament. And there's another law which says there has to be 3 players from the Northeast at least. So we have tried to maintain the exclusivity in some way, but it does not mean that we're excluding players. So there are players playing from West Bengal as well. The biggest example of it is Art and Fate, who were a part of Eliminators, and I hope they're still. And I mean, these are just small examples of saying that we're not excluding anyone at this point, because there are a lot of players in the top teams who are not from Northeast, but they are playing in teams which belong to the Northeast. So there are a lot of teams like that, and that is the reason I believe that we're not excluding the people from the mainland, the good teams or whatever, anything at all. So these allegations are completely false, because if you ask Art, we have given him the best treatment, and of course, he did not use his picture. We used Zio's picture instead. So that was the only one time we let him go, but after that he had to give his picture.
So you're making every player give their pictures.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we need to represent the players, and to do that we need their picture. Otherwise, Eliminators. Who is the face of Eliminators? Of course, they say Art all the time. Why?
Ah.
Because his photo has been out there. And
Uh-huh.
people know that Art is the face of Eliminators.
Uh-huh.
Even though the team was actually started from Manipur, the
Uh-huh.
way Art has been going around, taking in charge and being, talking to the organizers on the behalf of the team and everything. So it's obvious Art became the face, and now he is one of the key players in Eliminators.
Yeah, because it's always a struggle to take pictures from the players because of the struggle, right? You literally have to beg, and I understand from their side, like for someone who closes the camera all the time, and I totally understand from their end, being introverts. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them. And now we're jumping straight into the second tournament. I know I don't want to go back and talk about the result, because we all have seen the result. Everyone's making noise about WARDRUM. When is it happening? And right, I think, was it like 2 days gap, and then suddenly, then right away it was like second tournament coming. How many gap was there?
I think it was 2 to 3 days.
2 to 3 days, right? I was like, wait, what? I thought you guys will like put up in the community. I thought you guys will say, please give us feedback and stuff like that. But the notification was like, coming soon. I was like, what? These guys are crazy. Did they even rest? And that moment, I was like, these guys, it was a success, and these guys they're not going to be stopped by any storm. So you're jumping straight into the second tournament, and it's really quick. So what's going to be different this time around? Like any upgrade or a surprise that is in store for us?
Well, of course, the biggest surprise and the biggest relief, I believe, was the reduction of the registration fee. Because we brought down the registration fee from 1K to 500 rupees, and that has opened up a lot more room for people to come in. And of course, this decision was a little hard one, because we were always keen in quality. We were really focused on quality. We wanted the teams who come to be of quality. That is the reason why it was a hard decision to make. But I believe the response has been great so far, because right now, as we're talking, we already have 16 teams registered.
Wow.
So that is a great progress compared to the last season, because the last one we had only 5, like I said. So this is a great progress for us.
I would really want to take this moment and appreciate the management as well, because it takes a lot of management to even go to go through to go to the next one, right? So that's a big W from their side as well. So something that I'm personally curious about is, what's your vision for WARDRUM 2-3 years down the line? Do you see this like becoming a league, a circuit, or maybe a springboard for Northeast talent to go international?
That's a very big question, and I when I was told to become a part of WARDRUM, of course, as the CEO, because of course it was founded by us, but there were no formal roles established yet. But when I was taken in and sworn in as a CEO, we already had a vision in our mind. Our vision is not to stop like everyone else does, and the same goes to the message that we want to put forward. And this is the reason why we have stayed consistent, because just like you said, we have come up with the second tournament just after we finished the first one. We want people to believe in us, and the only way we can make people believe in us is through action, to show it with our action that we are here, and we are here for something. Believe in something, we're here to stand for that thing, and we're not going to back away just because of some hiccups on the way. There's some small obstacles, because they are bound to happen. And that's the reason why we believe to move forward with the same way we did in the last tournament. Of course, it has been much more difficult this time, because we have tried to increase the number of teams, and that has brought in a whole new level of difficulty to organizing this event. But we're still moving forward with it, with all the things that have happened in the last few days, because Of course, a lot of top teams, they have broken down, they have forfeited, but a lot of new teams have shown enthusiasm to come into the tournament. So of course, the old trees they fall, the new trees they grow. That is exactly how we plan to move forward as well. We want to keep moving forward, supporting each and everyone who is willing to put in the effort and bring up their game and improve the entire region as a whole.
Are you also, because you mentioned about you in general, you always give priority to player, even you said with the impurity, how you Bakimard, right? You focused on Bakimard, that people know him because of your casting, right? So you have always given a priority to players. Are you also thinking about like a long-term talent development, or like a grassroots program where players can develop some kind of program workshop, or whatever you may call it? Is there potential seed growing in your head regarding that?
Well, I think that is a very necessary thing to do as well, because if you don't develop the grassroots, then you're not going to be able to get that product out at the top level. Of course, in the upcoming years, because you cannot be thinking of just the present, you have to think of the future as well. But in order to do that, I believe we need a lot more than we have right now. But of course, it is also a plan that we have in our mind, but to execute it, we will need a lot more resources, a lot more people as well. So of course, our team is getting bigger by the day, and we're looking to bring in more people. But before it goes to that level where we want to go for the grassroots, I believe organizing professional, healthy, competitive tournaments are the way to move forward with, because this is something that is possible by us, and it's accessible easily to the people as well, because identifying talent and nurturing them, it is a whole new dynamic which needs a lot more complex stuff and a lot more manpower, a lot more resources.
True.
But if you think about tournaments, this also needs the same amount of resources and manpower. But the thing is, this is much more easily executable as compared to developing grassroots.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why we have went forward with doing tournaments.
And also something that was hovering over my head was, how many more online tournament before we see a LAN coming in for WARDRUM?
Well, as per our roadmap that we have right now, we plan to do 5 Northeast Underdog tournaments, after which we plan to go for a LAN event.
Wow.
But there is also a consideration that we will take. We'll look forward if we are getting, if we will be able enough to hold this LAN event or not. But of course, this is already in our plans, and yeah, you can say that it's 90% going to happen, 90%.
Wow.
But the 10% uncertainty remains because of course, the unforeseen circumstances that we cannot see yet, and situations in the states of Northeast right now is not the best. Of course, Manipur is one of them. I hope the peace remains, at least as when we want to do the tournament, I hope the peace still prevails there, so that there are no difficulties for players who are from Manipur. And apart from that, I believe there should be no other reason for our tournament to not happen. But of course, I also believe that there's a lot of people that are willing to put in their work as well to make this event happen. And the only way it can happen is just to make this happen, of course, to support it basically. And how do you support it? Of course, we can bring peace through games as well, of course.
Yeah, true. So, that's true.
It's another way to connect the entire Northeast, because of course we as brothers and sisters, our cultures are very diverse, our history is very diverse, we all have different clothes, different foods, different cultures, but I believe in our youth generation, one thing that can connect all of us is mobile legends.
Yeah. Yes, Mobile Legends. Yes, it's game that unite us, right? Though how even though we say noob this, noob that, trash talking each other, at the end of the day, come by, let's go play, and you're online till
Yeah,
4 a.m. in the morning, right? I think that's the bond. I mean, you troll each other in reels, you troll each other in game, but at the end of the day, we are one in that game. That's the beauty of the game, the esport world. I think you have mentioned, yeah. Sorry, is there anything you want to say?
and I believe this game, even during the period where it was banned,
Mm-hmm.
I believe the only reason why it stayed alive in India is because
Yeah.
of the people of Northeast. For no reason. You have to give credit to these people.
Yeah, Jeho, Jeho Northeast. Uh, Talking about Northeast, okay, just who was your favorite, this thing, team in that tournament? The
Oh, my
first,
team.
yeah,
The first, not tournament.
yeah, nerd.
Okay, so in the first nerd tournament, my favorite team was the Hunt.
Oh, really? Why? Are you saying that because I am talking?
No, I'm not saying that because I genuinely believe that Tartarus is, of course, fans' favorite. Everyone likes them as well.
Mm-hmm.
But coming into the tournament, I believe the one. I mean, of course, everyone was putting in their efforts. But
Mm-hmm.
the team whose efforts were really reflecting in the way they play was Zohan. But I believe the effort that they were putting in was reflected in the way that they were playing because, like I said, it's just that they were playing much better and the execution was much better as compared to other teams. Of course, Tatas was just on another level, and when they get locked in, it was way hard for any other team to get to that level except Zohan because this was a team that had the potential to beat Tatas, and that's the reason. Of course, I always support the underdogs, and of course, Zohan were the underdogs.
Yes, for sure, for sure. We have talked about our love for Northeast so much. If anyone who wants to try one Northeast dish, I know we're very diverse, but I want from your region, if someone wanted to try one dish, what would that be?
Well, I am a Manipuri, I'm a Meitei, who lived in Tripura. Of course, born and brought up there. So one dish from Tripura that I would like everyone to try is, of course, bangai. And
What is it?
bangai is basically it's sticky rice.
Sticky rice. Sticky rice, just like plain?
Well, it does have a lot of things mixed in it, but I don't really know what that is. One of it is peanuts, though. Yeah.
Oh, is it like stuffed? Is it like a stuff,
And stuff-
like a
stuff
Chinese?
inside.
Yeah.
I should have said.
Oh wow, I would
Really
love to
tasty.
try one. I'm coming tomorrow. I'm booking my ticket right away. Yeah, I love trying new food from the different part. Is there any dish that you would want to try from around the Northeast?
From the Northeast, I'm not really aware of too much except my own traditional cuisine. The only thing I'm aware of is the Tripuri cuisine a little bit. That's why I mentioned the bangai. But other than that, I don't think I know too much about the other tribes.
I love seeing Jew. I love seeing juice. Yes, I love it so much. Yeah. And what's that? The mashed potato with the ngari and stuff like that. What's that? I forgot. Irumba. Oh, that's my mom makes it so well. Though she's not from Manipur, she has lived with them. So yeah, it's really nice to have this culture exchange among our Northeast as well. So I hope that when that land, because I always get excited when it comes to land, when we come to a land tournament, I'm also hoping to have a culture feast where everyone have, so you take my idea, okay? You can have a cross culture food cuisine thing, and then you can have a buffet. I'll be the first one to line up. Who knows? I might come in the LAN as well, right? So, yeah, I hope so too. Anyway, coming back to our industry, you have created something that people really care about, and whenever that happens, there is always a pushback to some critics say regional lock scene. Some may even say it limits growth, but I think you made it clear that in the previous one that this is where it begins. So we are not ignoring or we're not excluding anybody, but this is just the beginning. Do you think there can be a bigger or larger funding opportunity that because of its exclusiveness? Do you think like the opportunity might also limit you?
I don't think so, because if there is a potential for investment to come, I believe the Northeast companies themselves would like to invest, because of course the way we are approaching, we're appealing to the people is, of course, our first tournament itself is Northeast Underdog Tournament. We're here to uplift the underdogs of Northeast, and that's a message that we're portraying right now. That's the reason why I believe that the Northeast people also believe in us, and we have a responsibility towards that. And if other brands want to invest in us, then that is, if they do decide to invest in us, they're also appealing to the people by supporting us, that we support the underdogs of the Northeast. So I believe if any funding comes in, then the brand or the company which decides to invest in us is also looking forward to connect with the youth of Northeast, and looking forward to delivering the same message that we are also portraying, which is we're here to develop the underdogs of Northeast. We're here to give the youth a chance. That is the same message that the company would like to associate with, and they want to do that. Of course, investing in us is a great opportunity for them.
You even mentioned about the board of directors, right? So is it confidential or can you disclose it?
I can't disclose the people who are involved here.
Okay.
But what I can say is we are 5 people, and of course, I'm the CEO, so I look everything through the day-to-day operations and everything. And with the chief operations managers, of course, he takes care of the operations as well. But there is a 5, and we too are also the members of the board of directors, and 5 people are the decision makers. Every single decision that we make goes through the entire decision of the board of directors. Before we decide to do something, we have a discussion over it, and that's the reason why all the things that we have done till now have had a great impact, because it did not go through just one mind. It has went through 5 people cussing and sitting down over it and thinking over it.
Yeah, even as we're speaking, I can, I'm getting the WARDRUM's notification. Your team are really active, one after the other. I think they are committed in what they have agreed on, and I think they are very stern about what they want to deliver it to the people. And as we're coming to the closer of this episode, is there any advice that you would want to, or a message to the Northeast? Because right now, as you said, your focus is on the Northeast. Is there a message that you want to say it to our region?
Well, I believe that WARDRUM is trying its best in every possible way that we can to deliver the best tournament experience that everyone in India can get online in the game of Mobile Legends 5v5. And the way the Northeast region can also do the same is, of course, team up with your friends, team up with the people that you think are good, get to the grind, because like I mentioned, WARDRUM is here not for just 1 or 2 months. We're here for a very long time. We're here to move forward, and we're here to execute the plans. And of course, we are here to develop the Northeast region as well. So if you want to take the opportunity of being a part of the entire development of esports in Northeast, then I believe that every youth in Northeast who believes that Northeast, esports should be a thing in Northeast, we should become esports powerhouse, basically should start considering this thing as a career opportunity, should start investing their time and efforts. And of course, the future is esports.
Yes, for sure, Fredo. Esport is undeniably the future and it is growing at such an incredible pace. And I want to really commend you for recognizing the effort of the caster as well by offering them cash reward. And it was really thoughtful of you to, truly value their hard work as well. And with the episode here, you have made it very clear that for now, your primary focus is on the Northeast region as WARDRUM isn't ready yet to expand across the India. But you said an individual can join from other region and they're welcome to join, provided they meet a certain criteria. And it's really exciting to hear Pan-India on the horizon as well. So at the end of the day, it's not about Northeast, West, South. It's about India as a whole and how we grow together as a unified gaming community. With season 2 just around the corner, don't forget to follow their social in the description and keep supporting WARDRUM because WARDRUM is brewing something big. And thank you so much, Fredo, once again for coming in here and making a clear statement of how you want the community to grow together. And also those who are staying tuned with all the organization, I really want to give out this message to everybody. Let's have each other's back, okay? This is the right time for us to shine together. It is all in or all out. So let's try to grow together as a community. And also those who are staying tuned with the spotlight, thank you so much for your support and love. A giveaway is right for you. So before you leave this channel, make sure you hit to that community post and watch out for the giveaway. And this has been 9 along with Fredo. See you all in the next episode.